Okay, I'm going to read from Biometrics Update. This article is April 26, 2019. How many billions are the last billions biometrics worth? Think of that question. How many billions are the last billions biometrics worth? The number of people without legal identification in the world has declined to roughly 1 billion, and new questions around identification for development. This is all part of the ID4D program, World Bank, and the Sustainable Development Goals, Goals 16.9 of the 2015 Agreement of the United Nations in New York City. 1 billion and new questions around identification development are arising as the old ones are answered. Questions like, how can we afford to reach the most remote people? And how can biometrics be associated with early childhood records? The headlines in this article are just alarming. I'll just scroll down. How to deliver biometric identification to everyone. Okay, Scripture says of the second beast in Revelation 13, and he causeth all to receive a mark in the right hand or the forehead, and no one shall buy or sell save he that hath the mark. The world's biggest biometric database is in India, has registered hundreds of millions of people who have previously held no legal identification, with the full enrollment project taking less than a decade from first steps to completion. And it started in 2009 at Obama's first year as presidency. Whatever issues the ADHA program has had in terms of operations and legal footing, it has been an unqualified success as an enrollment effort. Everybody wants to duplicate it, but nobody has been able to successfully. Well, they're starting to. Europe has just unleashed a biometric identification for all of its citizens in Parliament in the EU. And this is just scary. So if you want to read this article, it's on biometricsupdate.com. How many billions is the last billions of people? Then they've got a passage here. How to deliver biometric identification to everybody. Again, he causeth all to receive a mark. All right, just scrolling down, looking for another headline. Gee, this article's long. I'm looking on my phone, page after page. The blueprint is huge on all of this. Our industry is building very powerful tools that we fundamentally believe can have a huge positive impact in many areas, whether it's healthcare, education, or humanitarian relief. For disasters, this is for biometrics. We would encourage an enhanced focus by the industry on this potential and join as many organisations as possible to join our mission. We have a huge problem to solve and we can't do it alone. So it's just, there you go. With the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 16.9, calling for universal legal identity, including birth registration by 2030. Well, that's been pushed forward to like the ID 2020 program. Look at that. Some 736 million people live on less than $1.90 a day. Try to get the average Australian or the average American to live off $1.90 a day. See how far they get. And these people are crying for the rapture. They don't know how good they've got it. Go over and live in a country where you're going to live off $1.90 a day and see how far you get. This is according to recent World Bank statistics, but as governments and international agencies will likely pay the majority of the bill for achieving the SDG target, it is they and the solution providers who must find a workable value proposition. If the development community is right, then project success will help spark a virtuous cycle in which the buying power of people who are previously invisible to governments, this is putting them on the mark of the beast system, right? And financial institutions will increase rapidly. Anyway, you need to go, if you are a true researcher, go and have a look at it for yourself. How many billions? Very intense, informative article. Thanks for listening. Biometrics is the end game. It's $1 billion industry, and it's where the world is headed. Total saturation of the world's population, from north to south, east to west. Thanks for listening.